Good morning children. In yesterday's class we have learned about the different type of the pollinations under the abiotic pollination and the biotic pollination. Abiotic pollination, if the pollination takes place through the water or the wind, that is called as a abiotic pollination. In that regard we have learnt about the anemophily. If the pollination takes place through the air, that is called as a anemophily. Then we have seen in the maize what type of the pollination, how it will be, the process also we have seen. Whereas in hydrophilous pollination, epihydrophilous and hypohydrophilous, two types also we have seen, that is Vallisneria and Zostera. With these two examples we have seen. Then ornithophily, before that entomophily we have seen. Entomophily, what happens, insect pollination will be taken place. Okay. In the insect pollination, example if you take, there are different type, most of the 80% of the plants, the flowers, when we see insect pollination only taking place. Now let us see what are the different examples of the pollination. Yes, if you see liver mechanism in salvia, what is that? Salvia. It belongs to which family? Lamiaceae or Labiatae. What mechanism? What is the name of the mechanism? That is the liver mechanism. What is the name of the mechanism? Liver mechanism. Bees, that insects are there. Okay, bees, whenever the bees are beetles, okay, bees usually they perform the pollination here. Here salvia, the flower is a protandry, means first male one will be developed first. Okay. Then here bilipid, or bilipid means, what is bilipid? The corolla will be deviated into upper corolla and lower corolla. The petal will be deviated into upper one and lower one. Okay, that is the reason why we are writing as a bilipid. Protandry means male gamete will be, or male reproductive part will be developed first. Okay. Then here what type of the mechanism? Liver mechanism. Then in this plant, or in this type of the mechanism, when we see the salvia, the flower, when we see there are bilipid one. This is also corolla. What is that? Corolla. And down one also corolla. Both are petals only. Now what is this? This is the stigma. Then style. Then this is the stamen. And this is also stamen. Here stamens two rows it is Two rows means it is divided. It divided into upper one and lower one, but here the lower one which is present, that is the infertile, or else what we call sterile, non-functional. The upper one is the functional, fertile. Better to write fertile. Then whenever the bees visit, for example, a bee visited, now this is the bee, a bee is visited. As the bee is come at this position, due to the pressure exerted on this petal, okay, what happens? It bend, this part will be bent towards the bee side. Now it will be bent. It will be bent here, and the pollen grains from the anther or the stamen, it will be dropped or it will be sticked on the body of the bee. Okay. Next, what happens? It is moving towards this side for the purpose of the nectar. Okay. Then after, same bee visited another salvia flower, then again it is coming in this manner only. What is there here? Stigma is present. Already some pollen grains are sticked on the body of the bee. Then as it is moving for its nectar purpose, then the stigma may be again, it comes down, and the pollen grains which are present on the bee body, that will be sticked, that will be taken by this stigma. Okay. Now what has happened? Through the insect, whenever it moves from one flower of the salvia to another plant's flower of the salvia, then the pollination is taken place. This is one type of the insect pollination which we have seen in the salvia. Like that, if you see in the previous class, we have seen Amorphophallus. It lays the egg almost 6 feet of the height. Okay, in the Amorphophallus, inflorescence, the beetle, it 6 feet of the height, it is laying eggs. Whenever it is getting mature, then developed, then the moth of the beetle will come outside along with that flower. Okay. Next. Like that, if you see Asclepiaceae family, there is a clip mechanism, ficus. What is that? A trap mechanism is present. In the ficus, what mechanism is present? Ficus, trap mechanism is present. Whereas in Asclepiadaceae family members, if you see in that, especially Calotropis, clip mechanism is present. Now what we have seen? We have seen salvia. What type of the mechanism? That is the liver mechanism. If you see in a Papilionaceae means that is a Fabaceae family. In that, piston mechanism is present. What are these? Trap mechanism, clip mechanism, liver mechanism, piston mechanism. Like that, there are different types of the mechanisms are present. If you see in Yucca, pseudo mutualism is present. In Yucca, what is present? Mutualism. Ficus, trap mechanism. Blastophaga. What is the name? What is the name of the insect? That is the Blastophaga. Okay. However, whatever the mechanism might be, here who are involving? Finally, insects are involving. Insects playing an important role in the pollination. Okay. The pollination, if we take by the insect, that is called as a insect pollination. Next. Ornithophy. Ornithophy means if the pollination takes place by the bird, then that is said to be ornithophilous pollination. Here the flower size will be small, the flower will be small, but the beak of bird is large. Example, agave, bamboo. That is about the ornithophily. Next, Chiropterophily. Chiropterophily means bats. If the pollination takes place through the bats, that is called as a Chiropterophily. Example, Adansonia. Okay. Next, if the pollination takes place through the snails, that is the Melecophily. Melecophily, if the pollination takes place by the snails, that is called as a Melecophily. Example, Lemna. Next, if the pollination takes place by the snakes, Ophiophily. Example, snakes. If the pollination takes place by the ants, Myrmecophily. Okay, example, mango. In the mango plant, you can able to see the ants pollination. Next, Therophily. The pollination takes place by the arboreals or else lizard, like that. Squirrels, lizard or squirrels. Okay, that is called as a Therophily. So what are these? These are the different types. These are the different types of the pollinating agent. Okay. Ornithophily, that is the bird. Chiropterophily, that is the bat. Bat is involving in the pollination. Next, Melecophily, what is involving? Snail is involving. Ophiophily, snakes are involving. Then Myrmecophily, ants are involving. Therophily, that is squirrels, lizards, arboreals like animals, those are involving in the process of the pollination. So this is about different types of the pollinations. Now pollination concept is completed. Next one, pollen pistil interaction. Pollen and pistil interaction. Pollen and pistil interaction, when we see here, already in the previous class I have explained what is that compatibility and incompatibility. What is compatibility and what is incompatibility? For example, let us see with a diagram. This is the stigma, then style, ovary, ovules are present. Okay. Now a pollen grain, when it falls here, okay, if the pollen tube is developed, then what has happened here? Stigma releases some chemicals. Stigma also releases some chemicals. Then pollen grain also releases chemicals. Pollen grain also releases some chemicals. Both together accepted, means here whatever the protein chemicals are releasing by the pollen grain and what chemicals are present on the stigma, both will be accepted. Then only what happen? Pollen tube will be germinated. Pollen tube will be germinated or pollen tube germinated. So here, if the pollen tube is germinated, that is called as a acceptance, pistil acceptance. If the pollen tube is that acceptance only, we are calling as a compatibility. What we are calling that acceptance? Compatibility. If it is rejects, that is called as a incompatibility. Already in the previous class also we learned, that is the compatibility and incompatibility. If it is accepted, that is the compatibility. If it is not accepted, then pollen tube will not be germinated. That condition is called as the incompatibility or rejects. Then usually the pollen grain takes water and boron. Water and boron it takes from the stigma. Okay. Already we discussed on the stigma, sugar, amino acid and water, and what is present, some nutrients like boron, minerals like boron, these all are present. By taking these all, the pollen grain develops a pollen tube. Okay. Here let us see the structure of the pollen tube and what will be present in the pollen tube. Let us see. Yes, now this is the pollen grain. Then now I am drawing, this is the pollen tube. Okay. What is this? This is the pollen tube. Okay. Then it takes the water, sugar, amino acid, boron, like that it takes, and it is germinated the pollen tube. Then first of all what happens, there will be a vacuole. Okay. These two vacuoles are present beginning at this side. Then due to the enlargement of the vacuole exerts some pressure on the exine. So, intine. Vacuole exerts some pressure on the intine. Intine is made up of pectocellulose. Intine is made up of pectocellulose. Whenever pectin is present, there will be some elasticity and flexibility. So now vacuole their sizes are increasing. As the vacuole sizes are increasing, what happens? It exerts some pressure on the intine. Intine is made up of the pectocellulose or the pectin. So it has some flexibility nature. Then it exerts a tube-like structure. It exerts a tube-like structure. Then after what will be present? Nucleus are present. What are those? Male nucleus are present. What nucleus are present? Male nucleus are present. Now this region is called as a vacuolar region. This region, male gamete, vegetative nucleus and generative cell, two male gametes, whatever they were present, this region is called as a nuclear region. What region we are calling? Nuclear region. Above the nuclear region, what is present? Vacuolar region is present. Here some fat lipid callose plugs like structures are present at the tip. At the tip, some of the organelles also present at the tip. In order to provide some energy, and during the time of the during the time of the fusion with egg cell, then this will be ruptured. Okay. After rupturing, first male gamete fuses with egg cell. Okay. Then usually it enters, pollen tube enters into the embryo sac through the degenerated synergid. Pollen tube enters into the embryo sac through the degenerated synergid. That will be learnt in the next class, but you need to remember first vacuolar region, then intine pectocellulose is present, then it extends, and flexibility it has due to presence of the pectin, and nuclear region is present. Then after, then what are the nucleus are present here? What are the nuclei present? Two male gametes from the generative cell and vegetative cell nucleus also present. So now this is called as a pollen tube. Okay. This is about pollen pistil interaction. Compatibility, incompatibility. Compatibility means acceptance. Then incompatibility means rejects or fail to develop the pollen tube. Okay. Next, the entry of the pollen tube into the embryo sac. Entry of pollen tube into embryo sac. The entry of pollen tube into embryo sac, if you see, yes, this is a embryo sac for example. Then if the pollen, what is that? Pollen tube, this is the pollen tube. Pollen tube, how it is entering into the embryo sac? It is entering through the micropyle. PET means pollen tube, enters through micropyle. Okay. Such type of method is called as a porogamy. Pore means small hole like structure, that is a micropyle. Through the micropyle, if the pollen tube enters, then that is called as a porogamy. It is a most common in angiosperms. Most common in angiosperms. Next, this is about what? Porogamy. Then same manner if you see, here only I am making, just to see all of you. This is the first one, porogamy. Now micropyle opposite region what? Chalaza. Okay. If the pollen tube enter, if the pollen tube enter through the chalaza, for example, now pollen tube entered through the chalaza. This is the chalaza, no? Now pollen tube comes in this manner. Okay. It is coming from through the chalaza. Okay. Then that is said to be chalazogamy. Example, Casuarina. This is second method. This is second type. What is the first type? That is the porogamy. Porogamy means pollen tube is entering through the micropyle, that is the porogamy. Here pollen tube enters through this position, what we are calling chalaza. Through the chalaza if it enters, that is called as chalazogamy. Then pollen tube enters sometimes through the integuments. Where are the integuments? See here. This is first integument, this is the second integument. Now the pollen tube entering through the integument. Where is the integument? This is the first integument and this is the second integument. Yesterday we have seen examples for the bitegmic, tritegmic, ategmic also. Now the pollen tube entered. Then after entering into the integument, it moves towards the micropyle. It moves toward micropyle only. So like this, if it is entered through the integument, that type of pollen tube entry is called as a mesogamy. What is mesogamy? Pollen tube, if it enters through the integuments, that is called as a mesogamy. Example for this, here cactus, okay, integuments. And one more important thing, whether it comes from the chalaza, whether it comes from micropyle or integument, whatever the path it is selected to come, finally it has to come to the micropyle region only. Finally it has to come to the micropyle region. Why? Because here egg apparatus is present. Egg apparatus beside cell, two synergid cells are present. What are present? Two synergid cells are present. These two synergid cells consisting of finger like projections, those are called as a filiform apparatus. So that they go from this filiform apparatus, they enter into the embryo sac through the filiform apparatus only. Whether it comes from the chalaza or whether it comes from the integuments or else micropyle, whatever it may be, just their entry to here into the ovule from that path. Finally, the tip of the pollen tube has to come to the micropyle only. Okay, here porogamy directly comes towards the micropyle, whereas in the chalazogamy, through the chalaza first entry of the pollen tube we can see, whereas in the mesogamy first entry of the pollen tube through the integuments. Finally, in chalazogamy, porogamy and mesogamy, all the pollen tubes tips where you are observing at the micropyle. What purpose? The filiform apparatus synergid cells you can see in this position only, so that this is the only way to entry of the pollen tube into the embryo sac. Okay, so this is about the entry of the pollen tube into the embryo sac. Now let us see about the fertilization. Yes, before going to learn about the fertilization, let us see about the hybridization. What is that hybridization? What is hybridization? First, just I am giving an example. This is the A plant, this is the B plant. Let us assume A plant and this is B plant. If you take the mango plant, here this mango plant gives sweet fruits, but this mango plant gives us sour fruits. But the number of the sweet fruits are giving, but the number is very less. It is giving less number of the sweet fruits. But here sour fruits giving, but the number of the fruits are more. Okay, the number is more. Now we need a desired characters. What we need? Desired characters. What are the desired characters here? Two we can consider as a desired. One is sweet fruit, another one is the number will be high. Number of the fruits will be more. Here one desirable character is there, here one desirable character is there. But these desirable characters are present in two different plants. Now I want to get these two desired characters in one plant. Artificially they do hybridization. Due to that, whatever the plant after the hybridization, whatever the plant we get, in this it consisting of two. One is sweet fruits, another one is the number will be high. The number will be high. Okay, so this is called as a hybridization. Now what do we call this one? This plant is called as a hybrid plant. Hybrid. What is the literary meaning of the hybrid? Hybrid means it is a mixture. The meaning of the hybrid means mixture. What are the two different mixture or two different characters? One is the sweet, another one is the number will be very high. Okay, so this is about the hybridization technique. Based on this technique only, nowadays all the researches are going on and we are getting desired characteristics through this technique only. Artificial hybridization. Okay, in this first one I am going to explain about emasculation. What is emasculation? Emasculation means removal of anther. Removal of anthers or stamen through forceps. Through forceps is called as a emasculation. What we are doing in the bisexual flower, when we see, just we are cutting the anther and only we are leaving the female part, that is the style or pistil we are leaving. What purpose? Because whenever both are get matured at the same time, self pollination will be taken place. In order to prevent the self pollination, we are cutting anthers. Okay. Then what is that process? The cutting of or removal of the anthers is called as a emasculation. Now, what type of the flower? It is a bisexual flower. Then after the pistil, what we are doing? We are doing bagging. What is that process? Bagging. What is bagging? Stigma covering with the butter paper. That process called as a bagging. Okay. Next, why we are bagging? Because just let us see here. Here a flower is present in this manner. Okay. Next, in this flower what is present? This is the female part, this is the male part. Okay. Both are get matured at the same time. Then what happens? From the anther, pollen grains will fall, then pollination will be taken place, then self pollination will be taken place. Now, in order to prevent self pollination, we are cutting anther. Now, we have removed the anthers. What is that process? Removal of the anther is called as a emasculation. Okay. Now, bagging. Still, for example, this is not a matured one. It is not reached to fertile or it is not a matured one. When it comes to the mature, what happens? Foreign pollen grain may fall here and pollination will be taken place. Am I right? That is the reason why here they are covering with a butter paper like this. What is this? They are covering with butter paper. Why? Because foreign pollen grain, another plant's flower pollen grain must not fall. If it is fall, it may be germinated pollen tube. So, cross pollination or same species or same plants, another flower pollen grains also may be fall. That is the reason why what they are doing, they are covering with butter paper. The covering process is called as a bagging. Okay. Next, now it is reached to the mature stage. It is reached to the mature stage. Whenever it is reached to the mature stage, on mature stigma, dropping of pollen grains. Okay. Now it is reached to the mature stage. We have to drop desired characteristic. Whatever desired characteristic we are expecting, the desired characteristic pollen grains we have to drop. For whenever you want to drop, what you have to do? You have to remove this butter paper. You have to remove this butter paper. Then that process is called as a debagging. Removal of butter paper. That process is called as a debagging. Bagging means you are covering with butter paper. Debagging means you are removing the butter paper. After removing, now we have removed, then after we have dropped pollen grains on this. Okay. Okay. Now we have dropped the pollen grains. Whenever you drop the pollen grains stigma, that process is called as a dusting. What we are calling? Dusting. Dusting means dropping the pollen grains on the matured stigma is called as a dusting. Okay. Now pollen tube will be developed. Meanwhile, what happens if it is again not covered? Again there is a possibility of the falling foreign pollen grain. That is the reason why again we are covering with butter paper. So again covering with butter paper. That process is called as a rebagging. Yes. Now, how many steps are involved here? Once you see in this, how many steps are involved? First one, emasculation. What is the first one? Emasculation. Emasculation after, what is the next step? That is bagging. Bagging after debagging. Debagging after dusting. Dusting after rebagging. So, during the artificial hybridization, these steps are involved. In our NCERT book, this debagging is not there. Okay. Whether it is not there or not, this is the exact process. Emasculation, bagging, dusting and rebagging. Very, very important. What is emasculation? Removal of the anthers. What is dusting? On the mature stigma, dropping off the pollen grains. What is bagging? Emasculated flower in that on the stigma, in order to prevent the falling of the foreign pollen grain, we are covering with a butter paper, that is called as a bagging. Okay. Next, dusting. Rebagging. After dropping the desired pollen grains, whenever we cover with again with butter paper, that process is called as a rebagging. Steps will be asked. What is the first, second, third, fourth in artificial hybridization? What are those? Emasculation, bagging, dusting and rebagging. These 4 steps are very, very important. After that, fertilization. Fertilization. Fertilization, all of you listen carefully. This one. Okay. This is the pollen embryo sac. In this, what happens first year? Egg cell. Next, what is present? Synergid. Next, what is present here? One more synergid, helper cell. Here, what are present? Antipodal cells are present. Okay. Then, in this area, what is present? Secondary nuclei or polar nuclei is present, or central cell. What do we call? Secondary nuclei or polar nucleus. Then what is this? This is the synergid. Next, what is this? Egg cell. Egg cell and synergid both together, what we are calling? Egg apparatus. Then in front of the synergid, what are present? Finger like projections are present. These we are calling as a filiform apparatus. Filiform projections are apparatus. So this side also present. Then now, for example, if you see what happens, first stigma, on the stigma what will be present? On the stigma pollen grain will be fall. So this is the style. This is the style. Then ovary will be in this manner. Okay. Now what is this? Stigma. This is style. This is ovary. Inside the ovary, ovule is present. Okay. Now whenever the pollen grain falls, then it develops on the stigma, then it extends like a tube-like structure, that is called as a pollen tube. Okay. Now this pollen tube reaches up to the ovary or ovule. Now there are 2 gametes are present. This is the first male gamete. Okay. Now this is the second male gamete. first male gamete, second male gamete. Okay, I am denoting here first male gamete. What is this? Second male gamete. Listen carefully here, all of you. First, as the pollen tube is developing on the stigma, one of the synergid will be degenerated. One of the synergid will be degenerated. Next, what happens? Pollen tube enters up to the ovary, then through the filiform apparatus. What is the role of the filiform apparatus? Already we have seen it releases some chemicals to guide the pollen tube. It provides some nourishment to the pollen tube. It gives the mechanical support. Now, here this is a egg cell, no? The pollen tube through the filiform apparatus, okay, it is also degenerating. It is also degenerating. Now, through the degenerated synergid, through the filiform apparatus, it is also degenerated now, not there. Okay. Now, it is entered. Then after, from here, this pollen tube goes and fuse with egg cell. Fuse and meet with egg cell. Then this is the first male gamete, no? This first male gamete slowly moves to the end. Then this first male gamete fuses with egg cell. Now, how many nucleus are present? Egg cell nucleus is N. First female gamete is N. Okay. Now, N plus N. N plus N, that is equal to 2N state of zygote will be formed. This process is called as a syngamy. Are you getting? First male gamete fuses with the egg cell. So, now here, now what I am drawing, just to see. Fused now, first male gamete fused with, now this male gamete also not present. Now, this is the zygote. What I am saying? This is the zygote. Zygote condition is 2N, that is the diploid condition. Through which process it is formed? Through the syngamy. It is also called as a true fertilization, and it is also called as a double fusion. Why we are calling as a double fusion? Double means two, fusion means two nuclei is fusing. What are the two nuclei? Two nuclei fusing. What are the two nuclei? First male gamete plus next one, what is that? Egg nuclei. Egg nuclei. So, that this process is called as a double fusion or true fertilization or syngamy. Okay. First, it was discovered in Fritillaria. Okay. Next, second male gamete. Now, I am going to discuss about the second male gamete. This second male gamete slowly it moves towards secondary nucleus. Now, I am erasing here, I am drawing here that second male gamete. So, now 1, 2, 3 secondary nucleus. Secondary nucleus means already two nuclei is present plus second male gamete. Second male gamete. Due to that, what happens? Second male gamete ploidy 2N. Sorry, secondary nucleus. Secondary nuclei ploidy is 2N, then second gamete ploidy is N. This 2N plus N, what do you get? 3N. 3N, what we are calling? Triploid. Triploid state of primary endosperm nucleus. Pen will be formed. What is the abbreviation of the pen? That is primary endosperm nucleus. Pen will be formed. This question will be asked for the formation of the pen. What are involving? Two secondary nuclei and second male gamete. What is the ploidy of the secondary nuclei? Diploid. What is the ploidy of the secondary gamete, male gamete? That is the haploid. 2n plus n, 3n, triploid state of primary endosperm nucleus is forming. Now this process is called as a, already one fertilization is completed, no? This process is called as a double fertilization or else triple fusion. What we are calling triple fusion. Triple means, why do we call as a triple? Because 3 nuclei are fusing. 3 nuclei means this is from the secondary male gamete, these 2 from the secondary nucleus or polar nuclei, 3 are fusing, so that triple fusion. It is also called as a vegetative fusion. Okay, it is also called as a pseudo fertilization, vegetative fusion. Okay, this is the true, this is the pseudo fertilization, vegetative fertilization, triple fusion or double fertilization. After completion of this double fertilization, how many nuclei are fusing? Total 5 nuclei are fusing. How? In the first step, in the syngamy, 2 are fusing. In the second step, that is in the triple fusion, 3 nuclei are fusing. Total how many? 3 nuclei are fusing. Okay, this is about the fertilization, very very important. Okay, this double fertilization, Navashin, who discovered? Navashin discovered. The name of the scientist is Navashin. Navashin discovered. Then Grignard accepted and confirmed. He was accepted, and whatever the Navashin is discovered, that is accepted by the Grignard, confirmed, yes, it is true, like that. So now what we have learned? Syngamy or double fusion and triple fertilization we have discussed. Very very important. Definitely there is a possibility to frame a question from the syngamy and that triple fusion. Ploidy also very very important. Then antipodals will be degenerated. What will be degenerated? Antipodals will be degenerated. Once let us see the stage or state of this all cell, antipodal cell, ploidy n only, haploid. Then synergids also haploid only. Egg cell also haploid only. Okay. Next, secondary nuclei. Secondary nuclei, another name polar nuclei. Okay, it is a 2n. It is 2n. Next, zygote. What is that? After the fusion, what we are getting? Zygote also 2n. Next, primary endosperm nucleus 3n. Ploidy also very very important. In examination, ploidy also will be asked. Okay, even you can write here nucellus also 2n. Okay, antipodals n. Then pollen grain, male gametes, those also pollen grains. Pollen also, what is that? State n only, haploid, no? So these all are very very important. Antipodal n, synergid n, egg cell also n, secondary nucleus also 2n, zygote 2n, primary endosperm nucleus 3n, and nucellus 2n, pollen grain condition is n. Okay. So what did we get? Primary endosperm. Endosperm we got now. Pollen grain development. Pollen grain development on the stigma. On the stigma, that is the in vivo method. Just I am writing here what is in vivo. In vivo or in vivo. development on stigma. Okay. Then in vitro. In vitro means under the laboratory conditions, if the pollen grain develop, that is called as a in vitro. Okay. So that will be explained with the pollen grain development or pollen tube formation on slide or laboratory conditions, under the laboratory condition. This will be explained with the hanging drop method. Hanging drop method. What is hanging drop? Very simple, I will explain, listen here. First of all, we are taking one watch glass. In this watch glass, we are taking a sugar solution, some amount of the sugar and the water, some amount of the sugar and the water. So this is called as a sugar solution. What is that? Sugar solution. And take a glass slide, take a glass slide. Then this sugar solution, 2 to 3 drops, 2 to 3 drops you pour on the surface of the glass slide. Then just dust the pollen grain, 1 or 2 or many also you can able to dust the pollen grains. After 30 minutes if you see, after 30 minutes after, when you see under the microscope, when you see under the microscope, you can able to see the pollen tube germination. The pollen tube germination. This is about hanging drop method. In vitro, in laboratory conditions, we can do that one. Okay. Then in situ. In situ. What is in situ? Pollen grains development in microsporangium. In the microsporangium, pollen grains are developing, no? That condition is called as a in situ. Don't get confusion here. Pollen grains are developing in the microsporangium, that is called as a in situ. Then in vivo means pollen grain developing on the stigma, that is called as a pollen grain developing. Pollen grain developing means that is nothing but pollen tube. It is germinating the pollen tube. That is in vivo. Then in vitro means under the laboratory condition, the pollen tube development we can see on the slide with the help of the microscope by using the sugar solution. This is in vitro method. Okay. Now let us see about the endosperm. Just now only we have seen primary endosperm nucleus we got. Then first I am going to explain about the endosperms and their ploidy. Okay. Archidaceae, Tropiaceae and Podostomanaceae. In this, what are those? Tropiaceae. Then Archidaceae. Next, Podostomanaceae. In this, the endosperm ploidy, if you see 0 means there is no formation of the endosperm, totally will be consumed. Okay, there is no formation. Next, this is first one. Next, in gymnosperms, the endosperm is a N haploid, whereas in Oenothera, endosperm is 2N in nature. Okay. Then angiosperms, it is a 3N. Okay. Whereas in peperomia, tetrasporic development, in that peperomia it will be 9N. Okay. Next, arum, in this the development, the endosperm ploid is 24576N. Okay, these are the some of the endosperm ploidies. Now we know these angiosperms. Okay, we know about the gymnosperm. Why? Because already in the +1 regarding the pteridophyte, gymnosperms, angiosperms we have learned. That is the reason why these two ploidies we know. But remaining Enothera, this you can top, Tropiaceae and Orchidaceae and Podostomanaceae. In that Peperomia and Arum we have to remember the condition of the endosperm. Then this endosperm stores reserved food material. What is that? Reserve food. It stores some reserve food. Endosperm stores reserved food. What are those, for example? If you see, that is a starch, carbohydrates, cereals. Okay. That is rice, wheat, those all they are storing the starch, that is endosperm only. Okay. Next, protein, the reserve food material protein, alluron layer, maize alluron layer, for example maize alluron layer is present, no, that one. Next, some of the endosperm stores oil, that is castor. Okay. Next, some of this endosperm, if you see, those are very stony endosperm. Stony endosperm, that is Areca catachu. Okay. Then hemi endosperm. Hemi means here pheonic, date palm. Okay. These two are economically, commercially will get more profit, Areca catachu and date palm. Okay. Like that, cellulosic, ivory palm. Ivory of palm. Okay. What are these? These are different reserved food material, and these are some of the examples. Then where we are using uses of the endosperm, where we are using in the preparation of the fancy buttons. In the preparation of fancy buttons. Second one, umbrella handles. The endosperm, where they are using? In umbrella handles. Balls, preparation of the balls. Billiard game, you might have known about the billiards game, ball, etc. So in that way we are using the endosperm in different places. Then next, types of endosperm. Okay, means based on the formation of the endosperm, there are cellular, helobial and nuclear. First one is the nuclear, second one is the cellular, third one is the helobial. The development of the endosperm, then with that endosperm will be completed. That will be explained in my next class.